Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
I've
Yes,
put it in a
ma'am.
slideshow. Now at least it is showing in a presentation mode. PPT.
Slideshow is not coming, ma'am.
No, again it is showing at the
Ma'am,
normal
it's
PPT only.
yes, ma'am. Yes,
Why
ma'am.
it
Yes,
is
ma'am.
showing like that, I don't know. It's okay. Okay, then last class we have started with the second module. In that first chapter is all about the block ciphers and the data encryption standard, that is DES. Okay, yesterday we have seen what do you mean by the block cipher and what do you mean by stream cipher. We have differentiated the both the different kinds of how they are going to process the plain text. Depending upon that, we have come up with the two different types of a ciphers, that is block cipher and the stream cipher. Have you remember what is block cipher and the stream cipher, guys? What is block cipher? Yes. What is block cipher? Yes, guys, what is block cipher? Have you remembered how it is going to process the data, plain text message? How it is going to process? Yes? No one? Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, tell me, what is block cipher? What do you mean by stream cipher? How these two things are going to process the plain text? How we are differentiated the way how they are going to process the plain text. Depending upon that, we have these two kinds of ciphers, that is block and the stream cipher. What do you mean by block cipher? What do you mean by stream cipher? Can anyone? Can anyone tell me how the block cipher and the stream cipher are going to work? Yes? No answer.
Don't know, ma'am.
Ma'am,
Don't know. Yesterday you have not attended classes. You have attended a class, right, Kiran? Then I have explained these all things. But in between the class
And it
only you
takes
have.
plain text.
Yes, Sujit, you were telling something, Sujit.
ma'am, stream cipher is one by one, madam.
One by one, in a sense, bit by bit. Right? It is going to process the data.
Yes,
But
ma'am.
in block cipher, what will happen? It is going to take the block wise. That means one block, input block. How many characters it may have? What may be the size of the block? Those all characters will be what? Encrypted or decrypted to get the output state. Right? So that is the main difference between the block cipher. Name itself indicates block and the stream cipher. In times of block cipher, what will happen? It is going to process the plain text in terms of the blocks, each of which will be encrypted or decrypted to get the output. Mainly in block cipher, we are going to consider the block sizes of 64 bits or more than 64 bits. And what do you mean by stream cipher? It is going to process the messages bit by bit or byte at a time when you are going to do the encryption or the decryption. Compared to the stream cipher, everywhere now whatever the ciphers they are using, those are nothing but the block ciphers. Most of the applications are going to use the block ciphers itself. That's what we have seen in the yesterday's class. And we have started with the block cipher principles. Mainly whatever the block ciphers we are going to study, all the ciphers are based upon the structure of the Feastel cipher, right? Every block ciphers that are based on the Feastel cipher structure. So how exactly the Feastel cipher is going to work, right? For that case, it is going to use the idea of the product cipher, right? It is going to use the idea of the product cipher. See here, yesterday class we have seen what is the ideal block cipher that can be used within the Feastel cipher structure, right? See here, this is the what ideal block cipher we have taken. Here it is going to consider 4-bit input. Can you see the diagram? Here we are considering the block size is of 4-bit. Just getting the thing, guys. ideal block cipher, there we are considering the n value is equal to 4. That is the block size. Whenever we will consider the n value is equal to 4 bit means 4 bit input we are taking. That input is going to produce by using a decoder one of the 16 possible input state, which will be then mapped, right, by using any kind of a substitution ciphers. Already different types of a substitution cipher techniques we have studied, right? By using any one kind of substitution cipher, it is going to produce one of the 16 possible output states. One of the 16 possible output state, each of which is going to represent the one of the 4 bit output state. Our cipher text output is nothing but your cipher text bits. This is how exactly the ideal block cipher is going to work. Is that clear? 4 bit input it is taking and 4 bit output it is producing. Getting the thing? N bit of a input it is going to take and n bit of a cipher text it is going to produce. Getting the thing? So here the key size, whatever the key size you are going to consider, that will be n into 2 to the power n. N is nothing but your block size. That means here for ideal block cipher, what is the n value we are considering? 4. So 4 into 2 to the power 4 is the key size, right? That will be used for encrypting and decrypting the data. Is that clear? Getting the thing, guys? How the block cipher works? This is just the ideal
ma'am.
block cipher, right? I think somewhere in electronics you have studied what is encoder and the decoder, how they are going to work, right? That thing I am not going to explain. Just remember, if you are considering n bit plain text message, right, so that it is going to produce the n bit cipher text message as the output. For that, what will be the key size it is going to take? That is nothing but your block size, that is n value. What is the block size I am considering here? N equal to 4. So the key size will be 4 into 2 to the power 4 bits. That indicates what? 4 into 2 to the power 4 means 16. 16 into 4 is 64. That means to decrypt or to encrypt this 4 bit of a input message, to get the 4 bit of a cipher text message, it is going to consider 64 bit key size. Clear? Getting the thing?
Yes,
Now
ma'am.
see,
Yes,
only
ma'am.
the key size is 64. That means possible keys will be 64. Right? By using the brute force attack, you can attack, the crypt analyst will attack this particular encryption scheme. Is it possible or no? By doing the trial and error method. Right? By using the trial and error method, brute force indicates what? Trying out all the possible keys. Now only 64 is a key size, right, for this ideal block cipher. So all the possible 64 keys he is going to what? Try it out to get the plain text. Exactly. If he knows the cipher text, he is going to use
Ma'am,
all the 64.
Cannot hear you correctly, ma'am.
Ma'am,
Yes. Why is my voice
ma'am, your
is
voice is not clear, ma'am.
not audible? Now see.
Yes, ma'am.
Now
Okay, ma'am.
Now okay. Is there any disturbance are you facing now?
Ma'am, it's getting break, ma'am. Break agadaitre.
Wait a sec. I'll check it out. Now see. Is it audible
Yes,
now
ma'am.
properly?
Yes.
Or still it
yes,
is
ma'am.
breaking?
No, ma'am. Now it's clear, ma'am.
Now it's clear, no? Okay. See what I am telling? The ideal block cipher, if 64 key size is only 64 bits, that means all the possible 64 keys he is going to use, the crypt analyst, to attack this particular encryption scheme. Yes or no? By doing this some statistical analysis, he will easily come to know what is the exactly keys used to get this particular cipher text, and by using that cipher text he may get the plain text also, right? This is the thing he can do. So to overcome this ideal block cipher, what is the thing is there? To overcome the drawback of the ideal block cipher, the Feastel has come up with the new technique. there they are using the key size will be minimum of 64 bits, right? Here n value what you have taken, only 4 bits, yes or no, in the ideal block cipher. Getting the thing? In ideal block cipher we are considered the n value is equal to 4, but there that particular system will be attacked by the cryptanalyst easily. He'll come to know the plain text and he can deduce the key very easily by doing the different types of trial and error methods. So to overcome this particular thing, what the Fistel has come, he has come up with he is going to increase the key size. That means mainly, as already I have told in the block cipher, while explaining the principle, the key size will be minimum 64 bit or more. So for that case, the block size they are going to consider it is equal to 64, right? So what will be the key size if I consider the 64 bit block, right? At that time the required key length will be 64 into 2 to the power 64 bits. See what is the length of the key. It is going to be very huge. That time it is very difficult for the cryptanalyst to attack that particular block cipher. Yes. Hello. Hello. Is there any problem, guys? Sujit. Hello.
Hello.
Ma'am, again.
Hello.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah, Sujit, tell me.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, again same problem, ma'am.
My voice is breaking.
In the middle it is going, ma'am. In between.
In between. Now is it audible clearly?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yes. Okay.
Now.
Now clear, no,
No, ma'am.
Kiran?
Now it's clear, madam. So
Yes, yes.
after sometimes it will have.
Yes.
Ma'am, now it is clear, ma'am. But in between the class it will go, ma'am, suddenly.
Okay. Maybe network issue. If that is the thing, you just intimate it to me. Okay. You can stop me.
Okay, ma'am.
I'll explain the things once again. Okay. Is that clear? What is the
Yes, ma'am.
drawback of the ideal block cipher? That the block size we are considering as just n equal to 4 bit. So the key length will be very less there. 4 into 2 to the power 4. So to overcome that one, what the Fistel has come up with, he has increased the key length. Right? How he has increased the key length? Because he is going to increase the block size itself. If the block size, that is n value, if we consider as a 64 bits, then the required key length will be 64 into 2 to the power 64 bits. Right? See the length of the key itself. By seeing that one only, you cannot do the brute force attack, right? To attack that particular encryption system. This is the thing is that with respect to the ideal block cipher, what is the drawback and how that can be overcome by the Fistel, right? Then next we will see actually what is the Fistel cipher. Yes, the Fistel cipher, what I told, it is going to use the approximation of the ideal block cipher what we have seen by utilizing the concept of the product cipher. As already I told, the Fistel cipher structure, it is going to use the product cipher, the idea of the product cipher. Getting the thing? It is utilizing some points, the approximation from the ideal block cipher. Along with that, it is utilizing the concept of the product cipher. What do you mean by product cipher exactly? That means here it is going to execute two or more simple ciphers. That means different kinds of substitution techniques or anything it could be. It is going to execute two or more simple ciphers in a sequence, right? So in such a way that it is going to produce the final result or the product that is cryptographically very stronger compared to the any one ciphers. Getting the thing? You are combining two or more ciphers, right? If I combine two or more substitution techniques, then it will become a stronger. It is going to improve the security. It is not easy for the cryptanalyst to attack that particular thing, right? You are making it as cryptographically stronger compared to the single executing the single cipher. That is what called as product. Product itself indicates. Product indicates what? You're multiplying. Yes, product is nothing but in multiplication. Yes or no, guys? So here you are
Yes,
going to
ma'am.
use the two or more ciphers. You are going to execute in a sequence, so that whatever the final result or the product you are going to get, that will be cryptographically very stronger than any of the component cipher, right? So to develop such type of a approach, right, the what Cloud and Shannon, he has come up with the two things into the Feistel cipher. He has added two things with respect to the Feistel cipher. That means they are having a approximation taken from the ideal block cipher. Along with that, the Cloud and Shannon, he is going to use substitution and the permutation cipher. These two techniques were used along with the whatever the Feistel has proposed, the last use of the cipher. Getting the thing? Whatever the ideal block cipher is there, along with that they have come up with, they have introduced the idea of the substitution and the permutation. Already you know what do you mean by substitution. What do you mean by substitution, guys? What do you mean by substitution? Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me, guys?
Yes, ma'am.
What is substitution?
Yes, ma'am.
What is substitution?
Replaced by
Snehal,
value.
Soumya, Lina, what is substitution? Kiran,
Replacing, ma'am.
Replaced by value.
Replacing, ma'am.
replacing. Yes, one character, whatever the characters are there, or whatever the plain text message is there, each character you are replacing it with the other character. You are substituting with the other character, right? That particular operation they are going to perform, right? And one more operation they are going to perform, that is nothing but the permutation, right? Permutation in the sense what it is, here just you are going to rearrange the plain text message. That means the sequence of the plain text elements which are replaced by the permutation of that sequence. That means there is no element will be get added in the permutation, no element will be deleted, or no element will be replaced in the sequence. Rather than that, the order in which the elements are going to appear in the sequence is going to be changed. That is just like a transposition. There you are going to rearrange the elements. There you are going to rearrange the elements. Now for example, you have only two characters in the plain text, right? What will be the permutation of 2 factorial? Permutation is nothing but factorial. 2 factorial indicates what? It is 2 only. If I consider 5 characters are there in the plain text, that means what is the 5 factorial value? 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. It is 120. So 120 different sequences you are going to get, right? In that order you are going to change the ordering of the letters which are present within the plain text. This is one more type of a cryptographic operation they are going to use on the ideal block cipher. Getting the thing? Right? Feistel has proposed the use of the
Yes,
cipher,
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
right? That is alternative to the substitution and the permutation cipher. Clear? Is that clear? What is substitution and the permutation, guys? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, along with these two things, yes, Feistel would have, he has proposed the substitution and permutation within the ciphers. Cloud and Shannon, he has added two more things, two more concepts he has added to get the, again, to improve the security of that particular encryption technique. That is nothing but he is going to provide the confusion and the diffusion of the message and the keys, right? He has added confusion and the diffusion along with the substitution permutation. He is going to add substitution, that is confusion, and the diffusion of the message and the key. Now we'll see what do you mean by confusion and the diffusion. Yes, once we have added along with the substitution, permutation, we are adding confusion and the diffusion. of the messages and the keys, it is going to improve the security of your messages, right? So easily the crypt analyst it is not possible for him to attack that particular encryption system. So whatever may be now for example, if the plain text is in a human readable language, for example the English language, at that time by seeing the language characteristics, right, by seeing the frequency of the letters which are present in the ciphertext, he can deduce the key, or he can deduce the part of the key. He'll come to know some part of the message itself. Yes or no? So this is not possible if you are adding the confusion and the diffusion over the message and the keys. That means now we'll see what do you mean by confusion and the diffusion, right? Along with what the substitution permutation, we are going to add two more techniques, that is diffusion and the confusion. Now see what do you mean by diffusion exactly. Getting the thing? By using diffusion, the statistical structure of your plain text, whatever is there, the structure of the plain text, that will be dissipated into the long range statistics, right, of this ciphertext. See, dissipating the statistical structure of the plain text over the bulk of ciphertext. That means now for example, if I am replacing the plain one particular character, right, which is present in the plain text with the value of many ciphertext digits. Now see, in plain text I have a one digit. Each digit I am replacing with the many ciphertext digits, or reverse I may do. One ciphertext digit I may replace it with the many plain text digits. I am changing the structure of the plain text itself over the bulk of a ciphertext, right? This is what called as the diffusion. Yes, to overcome the statistical analysis that are happened in the classical encryption techniques, right? Those techniques are used by the crypt analyst to attack the message. To overcome that one, we are changing the statistical structure of the plain text itself. Yes, one single digit within the plain text is going to match with it is going to produce, it is used to get the multiple ciphertext digits. It is going to affect multiple ciphertext digits, or in reverse, each ciphertext digit may be affected by the many plain text digits. That is what called as the diffusion technique. Clear? That means this is the techniques we have used on the message. Clear guys, getting the thing? What is diffusion? Yes? Yes? Hello? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Getting the thing?
Yes, ma'am.
Please respond then. Then next is confusion. Confusion, name itself indicates. Makes the relationship between ciphertext and the keys as complex as possible. Right? If you have a ciphertext and the key, easily you can get the plain text. Yes or no? Now, what you are doing? You are making the relationship between the ciphertext and the key as complex as possible. Even though the crypt analyst may know the algorithm, right? The encryption algorithm, and he know the ciphertext. But if he doesn't know the key, is it possible for him to get the plain text? No, right? So you are making the relationship between the ciphertext and the key as complex as possible. Getting the thing? Getting the thing? These
Yes, ma'am.
two techniques again are used by the Pfister, right, to indicate the block cipher. Clear guys? There are 4 techniques we have added. First, the substitution and permutation. Along with this, 2 more elements we have added, that is diffusion and the confusion. Diffusion means dissipating the statistical structure of the plain text over the bulk of the ciphertext. That means each plain text digit will affect the many ciphertext digits. In turn, one ciphertext digit may affected by the multiple plain text digits. Clear? That is what called as a diffusion. Then confusion means you're making the relationship between the ciphertext and key as complex as possible. These are the two techniques they have added by the Claude Shannon along with the whatever the Feastel has proposed the technique, right? The block cipher. These two more techniques or the two more elements have been added. By taking into the consideration of these all things, they have come up with the Feastel cipher structure, right? Feastel cipher structure, how exactly it looks like. See here, as already told, the Feastel cipher structure, it is going to have a idea of the, it is going to use the idea of the product cipher. What do you mean by product cipher? What I told? What do you mean by product cipher? There you are going to execute more than 2 simple ciphers in a sequence, right? So whatever the product or whatever the final result you are going to get, that will be the cryptographically very stronger compared to the component cipher, correct? That is what called as the product cipher, right? The same concept is used in the Feastel cipher structure. It is based upon the concept of invertible product cipher. Getting the thing, guys? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Feastel cipher
ma'am.
structure. See, yes, very important, right? Because this question is asked
Yes,
again
ma'am.
and again in the question paper, right? The Feastel cipher structure. Explain the Feastel cipher structure, right? It is based upon the concept of the or the idea of product cipher. What I told, the product cipher is nothing but executing 2 or more simple ciphers in sequence. So whatever the result you are going to get, that will be cryptographically very stronger compared to the any one of the component cipher. That is what you are calling it as a product cipher. So how exactly Feastel cipher structure looks like, right? Feastel cipher structure, here you can see here, it is going to divide. I'll put it in a slideshow. Is it visible, this diagram, guys?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
See, what it is going to take Feastel cipher structure, whatever the plain text you are going to give for this encryption algorithm, right? The plain text block they are considering is of 2 W bits. See here, the plain text they are considering of 2 W bits, and that plain text is going to be divided into 2 halves. That is, one is left half and the right side half. That will be divided into 2 parts, L0 and R0. Clear? And whatever the plain text data is there, that
Yes,
is
ma'am.
going to pass through the n number of rounds. See here, round 1, round 2, round 3, like this, n number of rounds, that particular data needs to be passed through the both the halves, right? Processing, then combine that will be combined to produce the cipher text. See, whatever the L0 and R0 values is there, some function is executed over there, round function, you can call it this f is nothing but round function, and along with that you are passing the key values also, and you are using something, this symbol. What do you mean by this symbol? Which operation it is in a digital electronics? Plus, if you write in a circle, do you know XOR operation? XOR, AND or NOT, NAND NOR, XOR operation. Have you know about the XOR operation, guys? Hello? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
XOR
Yes,
operation.
ma'am.
Getting the thing? See, XOR operation is also performed. Just remember, Feastel cipher structure, it is going to consider the plain text that is of 2 W bits, right? And it is going to consider the key, that is K. And the plain text block is divided into 2 halves, L0 and the R0. And the 2 halves of the data pass through the n number of rounds for the processing, and then combine to get that combine to produce the cipher text blocks. Clear? Now see, each round whatever may be the, now for example I'll take the round I. For this, the two halls, that is L0 and the whatever the left hand side and the right hand side plain text bits will be, those will be taken from the previous round. The input for the next round or the ith round, it is nothing but that is derived from the previous round, as well as the key, it is not compulsory the same. If key, it is consisting of, for example, n bit, right? The first bit will be passed to the first round, second bit is passed to the second round. So you are going to pass the different keys. That means sub keys will be given as an input for the each round. Clear, guys? Getting the thing? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you getting?
Yes, ma'am.
Each time the sub key what you are going to pass as an input for this function, right? That is going to be differed from the last round. That ki value will not be same. See here, for round 1 the k value is k1. For round I it is ki. For round n it is kn. So the sub key value will not be same. That is going to differ from each other. Clear? This is how the Feastel cipher structure looks like. Simple. Right? Getting the thing? The whatever the plain text
Yes, ma'am.
message you are going to pass through the Feastel cipher structure in this algorithm, right? It is going to divide the plain text block into the two halls, L0 and the R0, and that needs to be passed through the n number of rounds, right? And for that the sub key ki is passed for each round. In that some round function is working and some XOR operation we have taken. Now I'll explain what is the use of that two things. At least this much is clear. What is the input you are considering at least in the Feastel cipher structure?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, and whatever the rounds you are considering, n number of rounds, all the rounds are going to have a same structure. You can see here, XOR operation is there, round function is there, two inputs they are taking, that is from the plain text, and one key value they are taking, right? Depending upon that they are producing the two outputs. The structure of each round is same. Yes, whatever may be the number of rounds, but the structure of the rounds will be always same. Clear? What is the input for the Feastel cipher? The same thing is written, just go through this. Partition the input blocks into the two halves and process that through the multiple rounds which perform the substitution on the left hand side, left data half, and based on the round function of the right half and the sub key, and then have a permutation swapping the halls. That means this is the what the procedure is going to taken out within the Feastel cipher. See, it is going to be passed through the multiple rounds, and whatever the left hand side data is there, right? See that the perform the substitution on the left hand data, right? Left data half based upon the round function of the your right data and the sub key. Getting the thing? The right data and the sub key are the input for the round function. Whatever you are getting, that L0 value is combined with that one and you are XORing. This will give the value, and lastly you are permuting. That means you are rearranging. See here, your swapping is done. That is what called as the permutation. Clear? Two techniques they have used, substitution and the permutation, as already I told. Substitution means you are doing some replacement of the characters. Clear? Permutation means rearranging the elements. Are you getting, guys?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Now I will show you the encryption. This is simple Feastel cipher. Is it visible? This screen is visible?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Whatever I put into the slideshow, is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
whatever the thing is there on the left hand side, this is for encryption. Clear? This
Ma'am.
is for, yes.
Ma'am, now screen is not visible, ma'am.
Now it is not visible again.
Ma'am, your screen became black. Black, ma'am.
20.
No, ma'am, now it's visible, ma'am.
Now it's visible, but it is not in a
Yes, ma'am.
slideshow.
Yes, ma'am.
If I put it on a slideshow, is it visible
Yes,
now?
ma'am. Now it's in,
Now it
it's
is
in
visible.
normal. We can see, ma'am. If you put in
Yes, ma'am,
slideshow,
visible.
we cannot see, ma'am.
But at least this diagram is clear. Can you see it? Is it visible clearly? Can you see the diagram clearly, guys?
No, ma'am. Diagram is not clear, ma'am.
Not clear. Then what should I do?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll increase the diagram
Zoom.
size at least. But I'm putting it in a slideshow. Why it is not showing? Now see. Is it visible?
Okay, ma'am.
For some extent.
Yes, ma'am.
Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
We should zoom it, ma'am.
I have zoomed. I have put it in a presentation mode itself. But why it is showing in normal mode? I don't know. Something it is showing LE0, RE0, RE1.
Yes,
Something
ma'am.
is written LE1.
Yes,
Can you
ma'am.
see that one at least? Yes? Hello guys, is it visible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, see. Now, whatever the last diagram I have shown, that is normal. Okay, general Feastel cipher structure I have shown you. Right? Now it is, whatever the left hand side this block you are seeing now, this is for encryption. And right hand side what is there? That is for the decryption algorithm. Feastel cipher, encryption algorithm and the decryption algorithm. How they are going to work, that we will see now. Are you getting? That is the general structure what I have shown in the last diagram. Now it is for left hand side is for encryption algorithm and right hand side is for decryption algorithm. Is that clear?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes. Now see, whatever the encryption algorithm means, you need a plain text as a input. So input they have taken it as a plain text, right? And here normally they are considering, right? For the Feastel cipher, they are considering the number of rounds as the 16. Number of rounds will be 16. Getting the thing? They are considering number of rounds will be 16. Getting the thing for encryption and the decryption. Hello?
Ma'am, cannot hear.
You cannot hear. Now see. Hello? Can you hear me now at least?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you hear me?
Ma'am, it's not good.
Ma'am, your voice is
Ma'am,
not
we are
clear,
getting your voice
proper.
clear, ma'am. Getting struck.
My voice is breaking.
Yes, ma'am.
Now see guys, am I audible properly? Can you hear me clearly?
Now, yes, ma'am.
Yes? How about others?
Now it will be correct, ma'am. In between, it will go, ma'am.
Maybe network issue, Kiran.
Yes,
Can you
ma'am.
see the diagram now at least?
Yes, ma'am.
What I was explaining, left hand side is
Yes, ma'am.
encryption algorithm and right hand side is used for the decrypting algorithm. Right? See, for encryption algorithm, the input will be your plain text and the key. The same concept. So here, the Feastel cipher, whatever the encryption algorithm is there, for Feastel cipher, they are considering the number of rounds will be 16 and all the rounds are going to have the same structure. Clear at least this much? they are considering the number of rounds will be 16 and all the rounds are going to have the same structure. Clear? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Clear? And they are going to perform the two operations on this. Left hand of the plain text data and right hand side of the plain text data. They are going to perform the substitution and the permutation operations. Clear? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you getting?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you getting? Right? The plain
Yes, ma'am.
text will be divided into two halves. That is left hand side data and right hand side data every time. First time see on left hand side data they are performing the substitution operation. So what that indicates, substitution operation on the performed on the left hand side of the data is nothing but that is done by applying the round function. Can you see here? F indicates what? Round function on the right hand side data along with the key. Right? For round function they are taking the two inputs. One is right hand side data and the key, sub key. Clear? Getting the thing? Right hand side of the data and the key, and they are taking the exclusive
Yes, ma'am.
OR. Exclusive OR. Right? Exclusive OR. This is the plus mark that is written within the circle. Right? XOR operation will be performed on the output of the function and the left hand side data. Clear, guys? Getting the thing?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
See, plain text they have divided into
Yes,
two
ma'am.
halves, left hand side, right hand side. Then the substitution they are performing on the left hand side of the data. How they are performing? This is done by applying the round function over the right hand side data, and whatever the output you are getting, that will be get XORed with the left hand side data. Clear? Then they are exchanging, right? Then they are swapping. Then they are swapping the left hand side data and the right hand side data. Clear? So RE0, right? That will become your LE1. See here, RE0 is becoming LE1, LE0 is becoming RE1 after the first round execution. Clear? Hello?
Yes,
There is a lot
ma'am.
of problem today. Why no response, guys? Because it is very important, this encryption and decryption algorithm, Fistel cipher. Are you getting? Or I'll take the Jamboard.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll only draw. That's better. Only one round or two round I'll show it to you. Is that my screen is visible at least now?
Yes, ma'am.
I've shared the Jamboard.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Whiteboard? Okay. Now I'll draw the encryption.
Yes, ma'am.
How it looks like. See, what is the input they are taking? The plain text that is of 2 W bits input. That they are dividing into two halves. W bits to W bits. Left hand side data and right hand side data. At least this much is clear. For the first round, they are indicating it as LE0 and RE0. Left hand side, right hand side data for the encryption. E is for indicating the encryption. At least this much is clear.
Yes, ma'am.
At least this much is clear. Now what they are doing, they are applying the substitution technique is performed on the left half of the data. They are performing the substitution is performed on the left hand of the data. How that can be done? For that case, what they are doing, they are applying the round function. Okay, they are applying the round function on the right hand side data, right hand side data, and one more input for this function will be your key. This is first round, right? So this is what? First round, R1, first round. Key and the RE0, those will be the input for the round function. Whatever the output you are going to get, right, after performing this round function, that will be XORed. That will be XORed with your left hand side data. That will be XORed with your left hand side data. Now whatever the output you are going to get, this will becomes your RE1. And whatever the RE0 value is there, that will become your LE1. These are becomes the input for the second round. As already I told, for the round, the inputs will be taken from the previous round. Clear? Now at least, are you getting? Here
Yes,
now
ma'am.
you can see here, there is a swapping has been done. LE0. On LE0 you have performed something and it has become the right hand side data, and right hand side data is become the left hand side data. That means permutation has been occurred on the right hand side data. Swapping, whatever you did, that is nothing but the permutation operation has been occurred. Clear? Getting the thing, guys? At least now.
Yes, ma'am.
Interchanging of the two
Yes,
halls, right, of the data. The same structure is there for the all the 16 rounds. What I am telling, for Feistel cipher, it may be encryption or the decryption, right? They are going to consider
Take one.
16 rounds.
Take one bite. Keep it. I'll teach you. You will get exalted.
Is that clear?
Yes,
Hello?
ma'am.
Same round will be there. Now see, this is first round, second round again. Now if I consider the second round, what are the inputs are there for second round? LE1, RE1, correct? LE1, RE1. Again
Yes,
on left
ma'am.
hand side data, you are going to perform the round function. For round function, which are all the inputs are there? Right hand side data and the sub key. First time for round 1, you have taken a sub key as K1. Here it will become K2. Next part of the key you are considering. Whatever the output you are going to get, right, that will be get XORed with your left hand side data, right, and that output will becomes the RE2. Getting the thing? And this will becomes the LE2. Is that clear, guys? Getting the thing? The same thing is there in the
Yes, ma'am.
slide also. Just go through that. If it is clear, then it indicates that encryption is clear. See, like this, all the 16 rounds. All the 16 rounds. After that only you are going to get a cipher text. Can you see left hand side data? Just go through the left hand side, guys, of the diagram. That is for Feistel encryption. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Clear? Encryption. Decryption is reverse of this one. Go through the right hand side now. Decryption is reverse of this one. That means the reverse of the encryption process. For that, the ciphertext you are taking it as an input. See, it will start from below to up. You need to see the diagram. The input will be ciphertext. The input will be ciphertext. Again, that you are dividing into two halves. Right? And for this algorithm, it is having the same structure of the encryption process itself, but only you are going to change the key values. See here. Here for first round, what value you have taken here in the encryption? K1. Right? Getting the thing? Are you getting, guys? For first round you have taken a K value, sub key value as K1. Decryption is reverse of the encryption itself, but the key value will be changed. In decryption, the first round you are considering the K value as K16. Then for second you are taking K15 till K1. Yes,
Ma'am,
after K1 you are
again
going
your
to
voice
get...
is getting break, ma'am.
Again it is breaking. Why today lots of... At least encryption is clear, guys.
Group.
Hello? Hello? WhatsApp network